Hello YouTube, I am coming to you from Mr. One-Eyed Willie's cage again with, from what I can find, the very first video on YouTube of the Digital Aquatics Reefkeeper system. And you might be asking me, well, Digital Aquatics, they do reef tank stuff, right? Yeah, they do, but they also do things like this, which is incredible. This is the Herpkeeper system from Digital Aquatics, and it's designed specifically as an environmental control keeper for your any kind of reptile or amphibian. It is literally the most amazing thermostat I've ever seen in my life, and it's so much more than just the thermostat. So let me just go through a few things with you. Obviously, we can see you have the date and time there, and it's monitoring the humidity. Now, the humidity gets monitored via a probe inside the cage here. As you can see back there, the little red light on. I know I have the actinic bulb, it's a little glary, but if you can see the light, it's that probe right there is called an AP1 probe, and what that probe does is it monitors not only the ambient air temperature but humidity as well. Now, you might be saying, well, it looks fancy, but really, what does it do? Well, I'll show you what it does. We have the humidity up here right now, right? Okay. Now, for humidity's sake, we have something that looks like a regular old run-of-the-mill surge protector, right? Okay, it's got 4 plugs in it. It's got an on-off toggle switch just like a regular surge protector, but if you notice what's going on right here, it says PC4, it's got 4 channels, it's got a status light and the channel lights. Now you see the only light that you have on right now is channel 3, which is the light inside the cage. Yes, it will control anything and everything. So, this thing you can program to run certain programs to suit your needs. And what that means is, very simply, let's start from the beginning. We're on humidity. Let's get back to humidity. This measures the relative humidity in the tank. So, the humidity right now is at 50%, right? I have it set to 55, but there's a window between, 5%. So what happens if it falls under 50%? Well, I'll show you. So, if it falls under 50%, let's just open up the cage here, and let's let some natural air in. And if it falls under 50%, oh, I just heard it click on. What happens is my fog maker comes on. My fog maker comes on, and obviously it'll stay on until I close the door. I have the fog maker is down here. I have the Zoom Ed Defogger, and as you can see, it is running. See, now if we close the cage door, right, and we give it just a minute, and that's a pretty good amount of fog. I'm sorry about the reflection on the glass here, but that's a really considerable amount of fog. The probe back there is going to read it. And let me show you. 43%. You can watch it come up with me. 44. The humidity probe is extremely accurate. They calibrate things beautifully right out of the box. There's no need to calibrate anything. Nothing. It's 100% ready to go. 47. 48. 49. I'm going to stop counting because I sound like a tool. 51. And as soon as we hit 55, the channel will shut it off. So you have precise humidity control with any kind of lag or, there you go. Just heard the click. The fogger is off. How cool is that? Now, at the same token, let's move on. So you've seen how the humidity works. See, we got 61 right now. So if we go up, we push this button, we go up. Now it measures the temperature also. So the temperature is 85.3, right? And the blinking light is the module that you're accessing. So you're accessing the temperature feature of the probe that we have in there. So the temperature is 85.2, and you're saying, okay, that's cool, but I can set it for whatever I want, and I'll show you how I do it. So you go to Menu, you go to Modules, you go to PC4, which is the surge protector looking thing. You hit Enter, go down to Function, it's a heater. Device is the temperature. That's your daytime setting, is 86, which is what I want. Nighttime temperature, it does nighttime drop-off temperatures, guys. At a certain time of day, whenever you want it to go off, and I'll show you a little bit about that too, it will go off. And it'll drop down to a certain night temperature. Right now I have the night temperature set at 77, so you run through that. The default is off, and save, enter. And that is that. So, right now, if we could see, it's 85.1. So, that means you can see there's 3 channels on now. So, that's my under the tank heater and my dome light here, which has got a 150 watt ceramic heater in it. That's cool, right? So, you're thinking, it still looks a little fancy. Any normal, you know, thermostat can control heat. And you're right, it can. But we're talking about lighting. Lighting for reptiles is very important. Now, Willie is an albino. Willie only has one eye. Albinos really are not a huge fan of bright light. I mean, for all you red-tailed boa people out there, they really don't need ambient light at you know, UVA, UVB, stuff like that. But there should be some kind of day-night switch off. So I use an actinic bulb, as you can see. It looks cool. It makes the tank kind of look spooky and mysterious. But the other great, unbelievably great thing about this particular device is it's something called a seasonal light setting. And what does that do? Well, if we go back into the menu here, and we go up to modules, we hit the PC4, we go to channel 3, and you can see seasonal light. Now what seasonal light does is you will punch in the latitude of where you live, or if you want to get a little more fancy about it, you can punch in the latitude of where the animal is from. Although, I don't know. I mean, things that are bred in captivity are, I don't know whether they're really, you know, I use the latitude here, which is 40.63. So you type in 40.63, and it will shut the light off at the day's sunset outside. So let's say today the sun sets at 5:04 p.m. At 5:04 p.m. that light will go off. And say the sun rises at, you know, 6:28 in the morning, it'll turn the light on at 6:28. So the light, the photo period, moves through the seasons automatically in your terrarium. So the snake feels, you know, 100% right at home, which I think is pretty badass. Now I was showing you the fogger that I use that really raises the temperature and keeps it raised and makes it perfect all the time is ZoomEd's Defogger. This thing is awesome. It's got an adjustable tube. It's got a 1 liter water reservoir, and it is not like those crappy little discs, you know, that you stick in the water and they throw water everywhere and they get the tank all dirty and mucky and damp. It's a nice, cool mist. I drilled a hole right through the side of my my enclosure there, and I hid it behind some flora, so it kind of dumps right into the water dish, so it looks like the mist is coming over the water, which, again, is pretty cool. The other great thing about the Herpkeeper system, again, is you can see the two red lights here. So these are two modules. You notice that there's 4 channels for modules, which means the PC4, the thing that plugs, that everything is plugged into, right there, that counts as one module. And the probe that's inside the terrarium that measures relative humidity and temperature counts as another one. Now, you're saying, well, there's room for 2 more. You're right, there's room for 2 more. And there's several different things that you could put in there. One of the cool things is called a net module. Now, what does a net module do? I don't have one. I didn't want to pay $270 for the whole entire package, including the net module. But what the net module actually does is it actually will communicate via your computer, and if you have an iPhone, a Droid, a BlackBerry, any kind of Android-powered phone, it will alert you. Let's say your ceramic heat emitter, it burns out, and the temperature in your tank drops drastically. This right here, with the net module enabled, will actually send you an email stating, emergency, your aquarium, your terrarium's temperature has fallen, or same thing with humidity. If my fogger runs out of water and I'm not home, say I'm away for the weekend, it'll send me an email. Then if there's somebody here or one of my friends, I can call them up, say, hey, can you go fill up the reservoir for the fogger? It keeps you on top of things, which is really awesome. Again, no videos on YouTube. I feel like I'm the first one. The Herpkeeper by Digital Aquatics. Really, go get one. They're easy to set up, they're easy to control, and most of all, they're insanely easy to program. 3 basic models here. This particular model is called the Plus model. This is right in the middle. There's the basic model, the Plus, and the net model. The basic model only measures temperature, not humidity. You need the Plus model, which is what I have here for that. Basic model is going to run you $99.99. The Plus model, which is this, will run you $169.99. And the net model, which is kind of what I wanted but didn't want to spend the money, is $269.99 plus shipping, of course. Can you add on modules? Are they expandable? Yes, you could buy any of the modules, without having to buy an entire system. It's more expensive to do like that, but you can do it. I just wanted to give you a quick overview, guys. Any comments, questions, anything like that? I have one of these for my reef tank, and I have now, it's pretty much the same format for the reptile tank. So if you need help in either one of the subjects, I'm pretty proficient. So again, questions, comments, they're more than appreciated, and I hope you like the video. Thanks.